what's happening? My name is Daniel and welcome to The Message Today, episode 11. Today we are looking at the topic of bullying. This week we have special guest LZ7, music from Amongst Wolves, and Respect Me tutor Lauren Jubb will be sharing her story.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Today's topic is a serious one. Bullying affects us in many different ways. It can impact your self-esteem, emotional well-being, education and life outside of school. As usual, if you have any questions from this session, why not write them down and talk in your group with your teachers afterwards. If you're personally struggling with anything we talk about, please do think of an adult that you can trust and talk to them ASAP. This might be a parent or guardian, a youth leader, or a member of staff at your school.
Throughout today's session, it's important that we remember that bullying is an unacceptable behavior. There is never an excuse or reason to bully someone. We also need to acknowledge that as human beings, we are not perfect and we make mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake, but we need to learn from it and not repeat it. Lastly, we need to realize that we are emotional beings. What you think is funny or just banter could actually hurt somebody.
It's important that we treat all people with respect. The Urban Dictionary says this: respect means valuing each other's points of views. It means being open to being wrong. It means accepting people as they are. It means not dumping on someone because you're having a bad day. It means being polite and kind always, because being kind to people is not negotiable. It means not disrespecting people because they're different to you. It means not gossiping about people or spreading lies.
Let's start today with a spoken word written by Ben from Soulbox.
I remember feeling so lost. Standing in the center of the hallway, kids howling, name dropping, panic attack, then they stop, all in shock. Tears drowning out the loud shouts of my so-called friends calling me names. And what they didn't know was all of the pain I stored inside. And when the teachers joined in, I skied. 'Cause I couldn't deal with all of the pain, all of the shame and blame. I wore a smile that I couldn't maintain. Could I run away? Was it a phase? When will it end? All of the bullying, I'm on the fence, dealing with all of this offense. I remember feeling so misunderstood, yet overwhelmed by the punches I took because of the way that I looked. Would anyone care if I run away? If I took my life, could I but complain? If I said goodbye, hooked up and died, I look so alive, but really it's fake. And now I'm on the edge. But what nobody thought is that I could break free of these lies and deal with my flaws. Believe in a cause that caused me to pour my life into something more than what they thought. Better than dwelling on a fence when I had the power to walk. More hours spent than I can afford on blaming their talk. I'm done with it all. 'Cause I'm no longer defined by what they say. I found new life in something great. I found a peace that isn't mine. So I don't put my confidence in their lies. I put my confidence in Christ.
I'm guessing you've had lots of assemblies on bullying before, so what is your understanding of it? Why don't you pause and discuss? Let's see what our students around the UK had to say on this topic.
For me, bullying is someone who's not happy with themselves and takes it out on other people because they feel small and they try to make other people feel small.
Bullying is when just not very nice to someone constantly, every day of their lives or on a kind of repetitive basis, that you're treating someone very unkindly.
Bullying is repeatedly attacking someone. Could be verbally or physically.
When someone's like nasty to someone else repeatedly, and maybe a group of people are nasty to one person.
It's when someone who is insecure about themselves pick out someone else's insecurity to make them feel better or to make them feel safer, that they won't get bullied.
Thanks guys. Up next, we have a new guest to The Message today. Maybe you've seen him in your school before. It's Linz West from LZ7.
Hey, what's good guys? My name is Linz. I'm in a band called LZ7. Now normally you'd find us in your school face to face having a load of fun with you guys. Unfortunately, because of this random moment in time, we can't be there with you, but we can on the screen. I'm gonna show you just a little video of exactly what we do. We normally go into high schools and then we go on tour all around the world. Have a watch of this. So today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the topic of bullying. Now, there's no kind of legal definition for bullying, but the gov.uk says this. It's defined as behaviour that is repeated. It's intended to hurt someone, either physically or emotionally. It's often aimed at certain groups, for example, because of race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. It takes many forms and can include physical assault, teasing, making threats, name-calling, and cyberbullying. Your school should have a policy of how to stop bullying. Now check this out. I said my name's Linz. Linz is short for the name Lindsay. So as you can imagine, I had to grow up pretty quick in school. I turned up to year 7, I had long blonde hair and a big mouth. First thing the year 9s did, as soon as I walked into school and they found out my name, that was it, game over. I had to grow up quick. You see, in year 7, at one point, I remember being at the bottom of a pile of a load of boys like bundling on us, and this big Doc Martin came in and printed Doc Martin right across the front of my forehead. I turned up to the nurse and I was like, "Oh, miss, I don't want to grass these kids up, but yeah, I just took a Doc Martin to the face." I don't know if any of you have ever been through something like that. I don't know whether you guys have ever been on the receiving end of some of this. Maybe you've been on the receiving end of some of this. Maybe you've had a tough night, a tough day, a tough life, or a tough start. Maybe you've been on the receiving end and it makes you want to take it out on yourself. Or maybe you've been on the receiving end at home and you want to bring it into school and take it out on someone at school. You see, here's the secret. I love banter. Like, I love having a laugh. I love messing about. I love, back and forth between my mates. But as soon as banter turns into bullying, it's where the other person is not laughing. You see, here's the secret as well. I reckon that the Bible has got loads of different things to say about this stuff. I'm a Christian, I'm a church boy, and I believe this. There's a little verse in the Bible that says, love your neighbour as you love yourself. You see, now, you're socially distanced from someone right now. You can't actually connect with them. You can elbow fist or you can fist pump. But what you can do is you can show a little bit of love. You can't physically jump up and hug them. But what you can do is make a choice to maybe speak a better word. You see, our words have got the ability to build people up, but in the same sentence, shoot someone straight back down again. Our words have got the ability to make someone's day or to completely ruin their day. You see, the choices that we make, the choice to live your life on purpose, to be the best version of you that you can be, to step up and say, actually, do you know what? I'm going to be part of the change instead of part of the problem, not only changes you from the inside out, but it also changes your neighbour. You see, you want to see what the UK looks like in 20 years' time, it's all down to your choices right now. You see, when you make that choice to respect someone, no matter what the differences are, when you make that choice to allow them to be the best version of them that they can be, you allow yourself to become a game changer. You allow yourself to become a history maker. When you step up and say, actually, I'm going to be part of the change instead of the part of the problem, not only do you take yourself on that journey, but you take your neighbour with you. Love your neighbour as you love yourself. I remember when I got out of year 7, I got to year 9, and suddenly I shot up and I was tall, I was big, I was fast, I could play football, and I thought, well, actually, do you know what? Maybe this is an opportunity for me to get this back. So I went from the bullied to the bully. In both of those scenarios, I realised that I was just looking for some kind of connection. I was just looking for someone to reach out, fist pump and say, do you know what, Linz? You're safe, bro. You're all right. You're one of the boys. That was all I was looking for. Now, I don't know whether that's you today. I don't know whether you were like me in year 7 and you've been on the receiving end. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to walk out of this lesson right now with your head held high, knowing that you're a unique individual, that you're designed, a one-off, customised, supposed to be here. Or maybe this is an opportunity for you if you've been giving this out and giving this out. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to step up and say, actually, I'm going to choose to be part of the change instead of part of the problem. I'm going to choose to allow myself to reach my dreams, to be the best version of me that I can be. And I tell you what, I'm going to take my neighbour with you. Whatever your choice is today, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. I hope you get something out of it. You know what? I believe in you. I think you're amazing. I believe you can be a game changer. You can be a history maker. You can be that one person that completely changes the atmosphere in your school just by making that one choice. My name's Linz, I'm in the band LZ7. You can go check us out on Instagram, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube, and we've got singles coming out all over the place. Thanks so much for listening. Peace out and see you soon.
Ditch the Label found that 33% of bullying victims had suicidal thoughts and 11% actually attempted to take their own lives. This is serious stuff. I'm sure none of us would want to be responsible for someone feeling like that. One student said, "I have bullied people, but I always regret it. Everyone else around me at school does it, so I feel really pressured into saying things and agreeing to things I don't want to do." Sadly, I doubt that student's on their own, so it's really important that we treat each other well and don't just go along with the crowd.
Last year's Ditch the Label annual bullying survey found that victims of bullying perceived that they'd been bullied for a variety of different reasons, with the most common being their appearance, interests or hobbies, or the clothes someone wears. Interestingly, gender identity and race were amongst the least perceived reasons for people being victims.
A Comparatech survey found that 47.7% of parents with children ages 6 to 10 reported their children were bullied, with that number increasing to almost 60% of parents with children aged 14 to 18. That means that around half of the people you'll meet in school will have been victims of bullying. How sad is that?
A 2018 study of appearance-based bullying found that more than half of young people who have been bullied because of their appearance said they became anxious, and a 29% said they became depressed as a result. 3/5 of young people took action to change their appearance as a result of the bullying that they received. It's really important that we feel comfortable in our own skin and don't change yourself just to fit in.
While bullying itself is not technically illegal, many aspects of it are. Violence or assault, which tend to be commonplace in physical bullying, theft, repeated harassment or intimidation, and any hate crimes, so victimising someone because of their race, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity or disability, are all illegal. If you're a victim of any of these things, you should report it to the police. Don't try to deal with these things on your own.
A study from the University of Swansea found that young people under the age of 25 who are victims of cyberbullying are more than twice as likely to self-harm and enact suicidal behaviour as those who haven't experienced cyberbullying. The research also suggests that it is not just the victims that are more at risk, but the bullies themselves are at higher risk of experiencing suicidal thoughts and behaviours as well. If you're feeling like this, please make sure you're speaking to an adult that you can trust.
Nice one. So my next question is this. Do you think that bullying is acceptable? Let's see what our students said.
No, never. Never.
No, definitely not. No other human being should be made to feel like they're less important or have less value than someone else just because of something that they stand for or a physical attribute that they may have.
No, 100% no. Under no circumstances is bullying ever acceptable, because even though it may make that bully feel a little bit better about themselves, they could go to friends to get that emotional support instead of taking out on someone else, who will then be way worse and then could possibly lead to a much dramatic outcome.
No, obviously not. Don't bully.
Bullying is never acceptable under any circumstances, ever. Period.
Originally written by Stephen Aitchison, the UK's top personal development blogger. Blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours shine any brighter. I know this all too well, as you'll hear in my story later on.
Thanks, Lauren. But why do bullies bully?
Bullying.co.uk tells us that bullies often have a very low self-esteem and low self-worth, and will bully others to try and compensate for their own negative emotions. This does not excuse their behaviour, but does go a long way to explain why they act in this way. If you've been bullied, that is a consequence of the actions of the bully, and it's not your fault in any way.
It is natural under the circumstances to feel a mixture of emotions. You may be feeling sad, anxious and very low, or possibly you may be feeling angry and violated. It is important not to take any negative choices or decisions when feeling this way, as they may not be the choices you would ordinarily make.
When your body is hurting, you go to the doctor. So shouldn't it be the same with our mental health? There are many things you can do to help yourself, such as not isolating yourself even though you may want to. Try to lean on your friends and family and do things you normally would with them.
Take your time. Speak to the people you love and trust so they can help you move forwards. You may want to find out if you're able to get counseling or support, as this is a positive step in helping you overcome bullying. If you are at school or college, speak to your student support or pastoral team. Your GP can also give you support and may be able to refer you to an NHS talking therapy.
We asked our students if they had ever experienced or witnessed bullying themselves. This was their response.
Yeah, in primary school, there was a girl, she was quite nasty, but I think if you see it from a young age, you can avoid it when you're older.
Unfortunately, I have experienced bullying, and I experienced it for the first 3 years of high school. And it sucked big time, there's no way to go around it, but I got through it, I'm fine now, so there's no wall that you can't knock down.
Thankfully, I've never been bullied, but yeah, definitely at school, so many people got bullied, whether that's through the way they look or the way they act, or because the friends they have, or what family they come from, etc.
I have experienced bullying, and I have experienced witnessing the bullying. And I think at one time I was the bully. How bad is that? I think I was bullied, and then I felt angry, and then I bullied. Does that make sense? But then I realised what I was doing. So sometimes I feel like bullies can be bullying and not notice. It could be just a few comments and you think it's banter, and the other person doesn't understand the same banter as you, and they're taking it like to heart, and they're not saying anything, and you keep just bantering because you think they're understanding it, and they're not. So you just have to like be careful, because some people find things more sensitive.
No, actually, I don't think I really have. At my school, it's dealt with quite seriously if anything like violent happens.
In February 2018, Papyrus launched their #Bedtime Stories campaign. They wanted to raise awareness of the impact of online bullying and create greater online safety for children and young people. Online bullying is a contributing factor for many young people having thoughts of suicide. Over 200 school children die by suicide every year in the UK. We need to be aware of the impacts that online bullying can have on children and young people's mental health. Let's take a look at this video together.
You've got no friends. And everybody hates you. You must get your clothes from a charity shop. Skank. Your hair always looks greasy. Lol. And those teeth look so gross. Like, seriously? You're fat, disgusting, and ugly. I hope you die. Sleep tight.
You only have to search Google or YouTube to find horrific stories of people getting bullied every day, and the reality is that people can get really hurt. Some can even get to the place where they don't even want to live anymore. However, there are some great success stories out there too, where individuals get support, work through it and come out the other side, and they can live their dreams. Here are a few celebrity success stories.
Eminem said that as a child who moved from school to school, he was frequently bullied for being an outsider. He said, "I was beat up in the bathrooms, in the hallways, shoved in the lockers, for the most part of being the new kid." Yet he moved on to becoming a world-renowned rapper, songwriter and record producer.
Lady Gaga said she was bullied in school too for being different. She told Rolling Stone magazine that she was bullied for being ugly, having a big nose, and being annoying. She also said she was bullied for her laugh being funny, for being weird, why does she always sing, why was she so into theatre, and why she did her makeup in that way. Yet she went on to be a successful global singer, songwriter, and actress.
Comedian and actor Chris Rock said growing up, he was one of the only black students at his high school in the working-class Brooklyn and was routinely beat up and bullied by white students. He said people regularly spat in his face and kicked him down the stairs. However, he said the experience motivated him to succeed, and he called his bullying the defining moment in his life.
Kate Middleton got bullied at school too for having a reputation as being quite a soft and nice person. She was actually tall and slim, but teased for being too skinny, gangly, and lanky. Her experience was so traumatic that actually when she got married to Prince William, the couple directed their wedding guests to donate to the charity Beat Bullying to help bring the awareness of the effects of bullying to others. She's actually turned this story around to something positive.
This is Malin Ackerman, a Swedish-Canadian actress. Check out what she has to say about bullying.
Some words of wisdom that I would pass on to my younger self would be, "This too shall pass." It was something that I couldn't really understand or quite grasp the concept when I was in a really difficult situation, because it felt like it never would pass. It felt like this was going to be it. This is how it was going to be for the rest of my life. As a kid, I was bullied, and I remember hiding from the girl who was bullying me in the bathroom, in the girls' bathroom at recess, and sitting on the toilet with my feet up so that no one could find me, reading a book called "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret." And I hated it. All my friends had turned against me, and I felt really alone. And I thought that that was going to be it, that I was always going to be alone. But lo and behold, it did pass. And I feel like any time that you feel like you're in a situation that is just so very difficult, whether it be that you're highly anxious, or that you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're depressed, or anything, that too shall pass. You will get through it. And the only thing I would say is reach out. Reach out to anybody, because you'll see that every single person is human and has those human qualities. Every single person is going through something or has gone through something and can relate. It's incredible once you start talking to people and reaching out, how normal it is to feel these feelings of anxiety or loneliness, or like you can't do it. But I would definitely hang on to that one saying: when you find yourself in a difficult situation, just remember that this too shall pass.
Up next is My Story, the part in the programme where we hear someone's personal experience. You may recognise her from the Quote of the Day section, and she's also a Respect Me tutor. This is my friend, Lauren Jubb.
No. Rachel's looking at me like no. So I grew up in Sheffield, which is in Yorkshire, and I grew up with a mum and a dad. My mum was quite mentally unwell when I was younger, and my dad was quite an angry and violent person. So he would beat my mum up, but he would also beat me up and put me in this cupboard underneath the stairs. And as you can imagine, that really affected me. There was a lot of bullying that happened within my house, and all I wanted to hear was, "I love you, you're valuable, you're accepted, you're beautiful," and I never heard that. So how I dealt with it was I would go around beating up other guys, because I thought if I could hurt them before they hurt me, I wouldn't get hurt again. So on a Friday night, I would go to the youth group and I would literally look out and think, so who's it going to be tonight? Who's going to get hurt tonight? But my youth leaders kept loving me and accepting me. I didn't realise it at the time, but I'd actually become a bully. And obviously they told me it was wrong, but I just couldn't see it at the time. Until I was 14 and I became a Christian, and I realised that God loved me and God valued me, but God also loved and valued other people. And so my perspective changed of how I saw other people. I realised that they are valuable. And so I contacted one of the guys that I used to bully when I was younger, and I said, I'm really sorry for how I treated you. I'm sorry for my actions. And he said that he used to get bullied by everybody else, that he used to think, why me? And I have to live with that for the rest of my life, knowing that I was part of bullying him. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to live with that regret of knowing that you hurt someone in that way. Maybe you don't realise that your actions are hurting other people. We all say and do things that we don't mean, but the first step is recognising it. So I would encourage you, if you're feeling challenged today, to go and speak to an adult that you can trust, whether that be a teacher or a youth leader or a parent or guardian. You know what? There is hope. You are valuable. God loves you. You can choose a different way. Why not take that first step today? My name is Lauren Job and this is my story.
In the words of Taylor Swift, no matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind.
If you have any questions from this session, why not talk about it in your groups afterwards? Also, if your teacher or leader would like to extend this session, you can now access the questions that accompany this episode by following the link in the description on YouTube.
If you are personally struggling with any of the content we've looked at today, please do think of an adult that you can trust, that you can talk to ASAP. Don't wait. There are many great websites and charities that we can also signpost you to that can inform and support you moving forward. So why don't you check out some of these websites to start with? Bullying.co.uk, Papyrus, Kooth, Young Minds, Childline, the Lily Jo Project, and The Mix.
Make sure you check out my band social at Brightline Band as we go live every Friday on YouTube.
Sadly, it's the end of today's episode, but we're going to leave you with Amongst Wolves and their track, Defender. See you next week.
I found a light that stands in danger, a fortress that's even greater. When hope is gone, I know you'll be there. A solid rock, don't lie. I found a love that calls out fear. It's stronger than all my tears. When I'm afraid, I'll find you here. My solid rock will fight. I know you got me. When I'm under, ain't nobody gonna stand against. I know you got me. I trust you 'cause you're my defender. You're my defender. Oh my God, when my heart runs dry, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. You're my defender. You're my defender. I found a God that bought my freedom, paid the price to get me even, gave his life to bring me Eden. A solid rock brings life. I call upon your name to lift me from the grave. I know you got me when I'm surrounded. Oh, I know that you'll be my solid rock through time. I know you got me when I'm under. Ain't nobody gonna stand against. I know you got me. I trust you 'cause you're my light, I've got a light, I've got a light, I've got a. In the darkest night, I've got a light, I've got a light, I've got a.